Hello and welcome to Ryno's Orioles Report. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Finally, been waiting how many series now? Orioles finally get a series win. Happened at home against the Cleveland Guardians. Yes, they dropped the first game, but last two games, bats finally came alive. And yes, quality starting pitching also there. Awesome. So you can see them on MassonSports.com. Let's get to game one. Cleveland Guardians. Make sure I say Cleveland Guardians 6, Baltimore Orioles 3. Yeah, you can see here Oriole bats don't get going until the later third of the game. 1 in the 7th, 2 in the 8th. By then the game's practically over. Westberg leading off. Somewhat odd move, especially since Jordan Westberg dealing with some kind of general upper body something. Haven't been given a definitive response on what exactly is ailing Jordan Westberg. It doesn't appear to be something too serious, because he is able to go out there and play, but it's something. So it is surprising that Brandon Hyde decided to lead off Westberg instead of keeping Gunnar Henderson up there. However, and it didn't work. Ofer walked once. Rutschman, Ofer struck out twice. O'Neill, Ofer struck out twice. O'Neill did make a very nice play in the outfield this night. Nice throw to get the runner at second base. It was a very awkward angle that he contorted himself in as he was coming more towards the plate to come get this ball. And then really kind of seemed like in one motion, reaching back to throw, contorting himself to aim towards second base and throwing a really nice throw. Time to get the runner. And of course, may have led to, at least that's what everybody's speculating, pointing to Tyler O'Neill's somewhat neck soreness. And yes, this is the only game that Tyler O'Neill appeared in, which is awesome. Yay! Gunnar Henderson cleanup spot. 2 hits. Mountcastle 1 hit and an RBI. Sanchez getting started catcher. Rutschman DH. Sanchez a hit and an RBI. Mullins 2 hits and an RBI. Also walked once. Really good to see Mullins getting going and staying going. We need him. Cowser's down. O'Neill's getting hurt. Westberg's hurt somehow. Ryno getting a start out in left field. Ofer struck out twice. Kerstad pinch hitting late. Ofer struck out. Mateo getting the start. Lefty on the mound. I assume that's why Westberg at the top of the lineup. Henderson further down. Mateo in there instead of Jackson Holiday. At least I think this guy's a lefty, right? This guy's a lefty, right? Really, you're not going to tell us what hand he throws with? Okay. I know I probably should have looked at this sooner. Yeah, bats right, throws left. Where did I go here? Okay, there we go. Back to where I wanted to be. Yeah, Mateo's not getting as many starts. Somewhat surprising because it seemed like last year Mateo was definitely a further or being more effective on defense and at the plate than Jackson Holiday. Whether it's Holiday taking a step in the right direction or Mateo taking a step backwards because of probably because of his injury, missing so much time with his arm injury, Jackson Holliday seems to be a better option right now. Though, to a certain extent, that's fine. Because what kind of weapon is Jorge Mateo off the bench? Especially, well, on a day where you would be DHing Rutschman, so if Rutschman gets on late, you could put Mateo in, but then you had Mateo in. So you couldn't do that. Mateo does get a hit, though, which is good. We definitely do want him to stick around. I mean, his speed is a real weapon, so we don't want him. Something happened to Billy Hamilton, huge steal guy for the Cincinnati Reds, very fast center fielder, but got a few seasons there where he just couldn't get on base. What use is that speed if you can't get on base? O'Hearn pinch hitting late does get a hit. Mountcastle, Mateo, Henderson with doubles, Mullins with a home run. Mullins also with a stolen base. Yeah, that's right. Contract year for Mullins. Of course it is. Charlie Morton getting a start in this game. Yeah. Charlie Morton still can't get right. Though, in all fairness, you went through the first 4 innings and you only gave up 1 run. You get to the 5th inning, yeah, he gives up 3 runs. And then one of these runs here in the 6th is charged to Charlie Morton. But at that time, what had the offense done? Nothing. A hit and 2 walks. I mean, if you're not going to throw any kind of support out there for your pitcher offensively, what can you expect from him? You can't expect a whole lot from a guy that's already struggling. I mean, he's an old man here. Help the old man out a little bit. You get more than 1 hit in the first 4 or 5 innings of a game? Okay, I guess not. 5 full innings pitched for Charlie Morton, gives up 7 hits, 5 runs, 3 walks, 2 strikes out 2. Ciano Perez in for relief of Charlie Morton. A little bit better outing for Perez. Not great, but a little better. Going 1 1/3 inning pitch, does give up the 3 hits and the 1 run, but no walks, no strikeouts. It's better than what Perez has been doing. Is his name Scott or Sean? Scott. Scott Blewett, which is a terrible name, and I know it sounds very immature to mention it, but what did they do? They dropped somebody, designated somebody for assignment. I can't remember who the heck it was. Colin Selby. Here you go. I'll put this in here for later. I'll get to that later. For my attribution. Optioning Colin Selby. Acquiring Scott Blewett. Orioles need pitching help. Plain and simple. They need pitching help. And Mike Elias has shown that he will do things like this. And he's been showing that for how many years now? If you DFA one of your pitchers and Mike Elias thinks that he can get anything out of him, he's going to get him. So, be cautious. Blewett in his first inning and 2/3 for the Baltimore Orioles. He's finishing off, the 7th in relief of Perez and then pitching the whole 8th inning. Does give up a hit, but no runs, no walks, strikes out 2. So, very, very nice there. One man's trash is another man's treasure. Only one outing. We'll see what the next few outings. Matt Bowman in for the 9th inning. Try to give the Orioles a chance, one final chance. Don't add on any more runs. Which, in the final few innings of this game, the bullpen locks it down a bit. Bowman, a full inning, no hits, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. Almost said Indians. Cleveland Guardians threw very good pitchers out there. Mr. Allen here is a really good starter. And Emmanuel Clase here on the back end. Yeah, he got exposed a little bit in the playoffs, but it ain't the playoffs. A little different here. Let's go to Tuesday's game. Cleveland Guardians 1, Baltimore Orioles 9. Yeah, I went to this game. This was bark in the park. Yay. It's fine. The dogs behaved fine. I'm still waiting for that one time where they do a bark in the park and then how many dogs run onto the field. Surprised it hasn't happened that often yet. Scoring for the Orioles came in bunches. 4 here in the second, 4 in the 8th. They did get 1 in the 7th, but it was pretty bunched up. Henderson over back to his leadoff spot. Rutschman in there, starting catcher. Over. Ryno Hearn DHing in this game here. 2 hits, an RBI, walked once. Mullins, cleanup. Yeah, I feel like we're going to see Mullins a cleanup a little more often, I guess. He's hitting very well, so we'll see how long that lasts. Just 1 hit, but 2 walks. Mountcastle hit and a walk. Kjerstad a hit and 2 RBIs. Urias over, but he did manage to drive 1 run in, which is good. Because yes, you're going to give up an out, but it's fine if you're going to get the RBI there. Also walked once. Jackson Holliday, 1 hit and 4 RBIs. Yep. The break Ripken Jr.'s record for youngest Oriole to have 2 grand slams in their career. Yeah. Ramon Laureano, 1 hit and an RBI. Mullins has a double. Laureano, O'Hearn, Holiday, home runs. Yeah. Nice to see Kjerstad get going. Nice to see Laureano finally contribute offensively. Very good defensively, and that's mainly the reason why the Orioles picked him up. But again, as I said with Mateo, he only helps so much if you're not doing anything offensively. Laureano's home run went almost straight down the left field line. It would have been a home run any year, but he definitely used the smaller path to get the home run down left field line. It's a very short path, and kind of glad they didn't change that. Dean Kramer got the start in this one. Nice to see a good performance by Dean Kramer. Quality start here. Yeah, only 5 1/3. Somewhat surprising that he couldn't go a little further. Just got to a point where using too many pitches, Cleveland Guardians making him work very hard for this quality start. Kramer going a 5 1/3 inning. Only gives up 4 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, strikes out 2. Brian Baker in relief, pitching 1 1/3. So closing out the 6th inning and getting the first 2 outs of the 7th inning. Only giving up 2 hits, no runs, no walks, 1 strikeout. Gregory Soto in to close out the 7th inning. Does give up 2 hits, which is a little nerve-rattling. But no runs, no walks, 1 strikeout. He had to get the final out, which is disappointing that he couldn't do that before giving up the 2 hits. But Yanier Cano in for the 8th inning, pitching the full 8th inning. No hits, no runs, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. Now at this point, it was 5-1. Batista was warming up in the bullpen. Close game. 5-1. It's not that too far off of a save opportunity, but Orioles broke it open in their half of the 8th inning, so Batista sat down. Keegan Aiken coming in. Pitching the full 9th inning. No save situation. No hits, no runs, no walks, 2 strikeouts. Nice win here. Oh, there's something else here. What is this? What is this man's name? McKenzie here. Tristan McKenzie. This says 165. 6'5", 165 pounds. I swear this kid looked like he was 100 pounds soaking wet. And whoo, he's got a very live arm. It's not a very high velocity fastball, 94, 95. But it looks like he's going to coming in faster. And being it's the Cleveland Guardians, yeah, man, I don't think I've seen any pitcher that really looked like Rick the Wild Man Vaughn. Yeah, yelling all those things. Wild thing, you make my butt sting. You make everything awful. He bounced at least 3 balls in front of the plate and threw at least 4 to the backstop. Whew. As far as I can tell, he's young. Right? I mean, he's not an old pitcher. He's young. Oh, he's 27. No, he's still kind of young. Whew. Really inaccurate. Not sure what's going on there. He looked like he can pitch. It's just maybe you need to do what they did in Major League and get him some glasses. Get the little skull and crossbones on the bridge there. Let's go to Game 3. Last night's game, Cleveland Guardians 2, Baltimore Orioles 6. Yay, series win. Woohoo! Scoring a little bit more spread out here. Well, not really. 1 in the first, 3 in the third, 2 in the sixth, and that was all the Orioles needed. They also gave up 2 in the third. Mullins here leading off. Again, switching the lineup up. So much for consistency. I should open that before the video. Still having trouble finding their leadoff batter, I guess. Mullins 0 though he did walk once. Henderson 2 hits and an RBI. Finally gets his home run. Right, that was his first of the year, wasn't it? Yeah, first of the year. And you know what? It was opposite field, and no, it wouldn't have been a home run last year. So finally, Orioles get one. Or did O'Neal get one? I think O'Neal did get a home run that wouldn't have been a home run last year. Finally, we get another one. Balancing that out. It's not worth moving in the fence if your opponents are going to hit more home runs. It's not. Your players need to take advantage of it. Otherwise, it was pointless. 2 hits and RBI for Henderson. Rutschman batting down a third spot. Ofer did walk once. Ryno Hearn, 2 hits, 3 RBIs. Ramon Laureano, defensive replacement late because O'Hearn right field. It's a really bad thing about having Cowser on the injured list and O'Neal not able to go because of a neck thing. Yeah. Would have liked to see Laureano get the start out there because, I'm sorry, I don't like O'Hearn and Kjerstad starting at the same time. I don't like it. You got lucky here. Oh, I did miss that. Tuesday's game, Kjerstad in right field made a nice sliding grab to catch a ball out there. Though at the same time, would O'Neal have to slide? Probably not. But to a certain extent, being able to track a ball going deep. It was deep right center field. So Kjerstad going back on the ball into the gap, sliding about the warning track. That's, to a certain extent, that is improvement. Being able to track a ball going back like that and being able to slide and make a catch. It's, in my opinion, it's better than what I've seen from Kjerstad. I've seen him look really shaky tracking balls in the outfield. All right, back to the lineup. Laureano Ofer in his only plate appearance. Westberg Ofer got the DH role here. Not sure. That's why I don't know if I really get what Brandon Hyde is doing sometimes. Because if Westberg is ailing somehow, wouldn't you want to just not have Westberg in there? Right? O'Hearn or Kjerstad DH. Ryno in the outfield, and just give Westberg the day off. Because with O'Hearn and Kjerstad in there, their player archetype or batting archetype, left-handed power hitter, is Westberg bringing anything that somebody else in the lineup isn't already bringing? And if he has some kind of injury, would have liked to seen him not be in the lineup. But, however, Kjerstad is on a bit of a roll here. See here, a hit and 2 RBIs, also walked once. That's a really good two-game stretch for Kjerstad. What did he do in the first game? Pinch hit over. So he wasn't in there the first game. Mountcastle dropping way down in the lineup. Well, righty on the mound, so there you go. And over. Mountcastle got to get going. Holiday, 1 hit here. Arias, a hit and a walk. Henderson, double. O'Hearn, Henderson, Kjerstad with home runs. Yep. That's right. That's right. They got picked off how many times? Mullins picked off. Arias picked off. Holiday caught stealing. Didn't O'Hearn get picked off too? Or was that a different game? Bad base running. Got lucky. But to a certain extent, sometimes that's what happens. It does appear, the past few games anyway, the luck has kind of turned a bit in the Orioles' favor. Who started this game? Tomoyuki Sagano started this game. Longest outing he's had in Major League Baseball. Longest outing the Orioles starter has had in a while as well. 7 full innings. How about that? And in only 87 pitches. Does give up 5 hits and 2 runs, but in 7 innings, that's fantastic. It's like Cy Young out there. No walks, 3 strikeouts. Yeah, strikeout's a little low, but he's not an overpowering velocity type of pitcher. He is more of a contact dude. Worked out very well here. Bullpen in relief of Sagano only having to lock down 2 innings. He used 3 pitchers, which isn't great, but lefty-righty matchups and all that stuff. Aiken going 2/3, getting 2 outs in the 8th inning. Does give up a hit, but no runs, no walks, 1 strikeout. Sir Anthony Dominguez getting the last out in the 8th inning. No hits, no runs. That strikeout. Watching the broadcast last night, they were saying that Dominguez was using that splitter of his, which he hasn't been using that much in the past year or so. And he broke it out against Jose Ramirez, which is one reason why the pitching changed. Which, okay. Very good hitter, and Dominguez threw his first pitch. He threw 5 pitches. He did get down 2-0. I think there was a fastball, 97-ish. And then it was just 2 straight splitters that just coming in like they're a fastball and dropping out of there. And Jose Ramirez is a very accomplished hitter, a very good hitter in this league. And he did not look like it on those 2 swings. So, it's a very good sign. If Sir Anthony Dominguez can make a hitter of Jose Ramirez caliber look like that, again, some things turning in the right direction. Felix Batista pitching the 9th inning. Little shaky. Maybe because it was, an autism awareness night or something. Yes. They didn't do all the flashing lights and stuff when he comes in, so maybe he just didn't. The mojo wasn't as flowing as hard. I don't know. Pitching the full 9th inning, does give up a hit and a walk. But no runs. Strikes out 2. Still not throwing quite as hard as he was. To a certain extent, I feel like his control, his accuracy, and his pitches is about where it was. He never was that accurate. So the velocity's still down, 98 on the fastball, which isn't too bad, especially with that. Everybody calls it a splitter. It is more of a forkball, at least when he was talking to somebody. Wow, what is it? Some kind of interview with Jim Palmer during the game. And they were describing the grip. It's like, oh, it's more like a forkball. Yeah. So, with more of a forkball. Usually a forkball, it's a more towards an off-speed pitch than, let's say, a breaking pitch. I would almost consider a splitter a breaking pitch and a forkball more of off-speed. But some of that is just opinion. 20 pitches for Batista. It's fine. It's just, I don't think he's pitching enough. He's throwing, 2 innings a week. That's not good. Somewhat disappointing that he didn't get into Wednesday night's game, but what are you going to do? All right, let's get to some of these articles here. This one written by the Masson staff. Scott Blewett activated. Colin Selby option to AAA Norfolk today. They don't talk about how did they acquire Blewett? I don't know. I missed it. I feel like somebody's got it. I don't. What did they give up to get Blewett? Can I give more articles? I'm trying to remember when it was. Here you go. An article by Rock Kabatko, April 15th. Option reliever Colin Selby, AAA activate picker Scott Blewett, claimed off waivers yesterday from the Twins. So yesterday would have been April 14th. So there you go. All right. This article here written by Rock Kabatko. This was today's article, a article for today. Because of certain off days and the rain out, the Orioles have not needed a fifth starter. So they haven't been rolling with 5 starters since Eflin. Eflin went down on the injured list. It would appear that now, looking towards Saturday's game, they will. So Brandon Young, he hasn't been activated to the Major League roster yet, but he is on a taxi squad. So it's looking like now Brandon Young will get a start Saturday, and there will be a corresponding move somewhere. Don't know yet. Somewhat excited to see Brandon Young because he needs starter help. Because here in some of the news here, this update by Rock Kabatko talking about some of the injuries on, let's say, Kittredge, throwing some bullpen sessions. Bradish, he's doing bullpen sessions. Gibson down at AAA Norfolk. He's already made a few starts there for them. The earliest Rock Kabatko thinks that Gibson could join the Orioles rotation is May 1st. Which is like 2 weeks from now, which seems somewhat odd, but okay. Sure. Also updates on Zach Eflin, who is throwing more of like outfield tossing and not, let's say, getting on a mound and doing such. And sad update on Grayson Rodriguez. Yes, trying to stretch his arm out to be ready to be a starting pitcher going through spring training again. Has to be shut down for right elbow, not right elbow, right shoulder soreness. Just when things are starting to go well for you at the plate. And you got a few quality starts from Kramer and Sakano. bam, smacking you right back down. Cannot keep pitchers healthy. Just can't keep pitchers healthy. Hopefully, this is more related to, let's say, Grayson being a little annoyed that he can't be out there and trying to push himself a little harder than he really should be. Hopefully that's what it is and not some kind of serious setback. But we'll just have to see. All right, let's look at the schedule and get out of here. Cincinnati Reds coming into town. This is the last series of this homestand. Friday's game scheduled for 7:05. Saturday's game scheduled for 4:05. Sunday's game scheduled 1:35. Off day Monday, then starting the road trip against the Washington Nationals in Washington. So that's going to do it for this edition of Ryno's Orioles Report. Please stay tuned for Monday, and I will talk about the series between the Baltimore Orioles and the Cincinnati Reds. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm the Angry Ryno, and this is Birdland.